Hello, and welcome to another episode of C-Suite, the CEO Chat. Yes, I'm excited. Yes, I'm your host, Shawanna Kennedy, and this is the place that we talk all things good, bad, and ugly of what it looks and feel like to be a CEO. I've been on this journey for almost a couple of decades now, and what I found is that having conversations with people that are like-minded, that doing different things, it really does help us. Iron sharpens iron. And today, we have a young lady on here who is robust. She's rich with value. She's rich with vision and understanding of what that looks like. This young lady has over 30 years as a visionary. She's an entrepreneur who went from being a model and turned it into a business. This young lady also then flipped that baby. She made it a production company. She gets to do all things all over the place. She's on everybody's platform, helping entrepreneurs, empowering women all over the globe to enrich their brands, right? Their business. And I believe we have some we're going to talk a little things as it relates to military. So I'm excited to bring my special guest, none other than Dr. Kim McNair, to the platform. Won't you help me welcome Miss Kim McNair? Hey, Dr. Kim.
Hello, what's going on? What's happening?
You good over there? I am excited that you did pause for the cause because, I've been trying to get you in the studio for quite some time. And look, to everything, there is a season, and this is our season to have our C-suite conversation.
Absolutely.
You being a visionary, you going from the runway to entrepreneurship, being a founder of your own production company. I want to know, like, when you were in it, of course, doing your thing, doing your twirls, girls, having the fun out there. What made you want to make the switch, not just to being an entrepreneur, but then saying so much so, I want a production company? Because, I love when I get other media business owners in the seat. Let's talk about that. What made you want to make the switch?
As I started modeling at the age of 14, so I was young in the business. So, I had to learn a lot at a young age, how to market, right? How to promote myself, how to carry myself when I was, out there doing my thing. But as I got older, I was always intrigued about the production side, like who put all this together? Oh my gosh, the lights, who thought about the colors, who thought about the scheme? So though I'm on stage, I'm doing my thing, but I'm also looking around and looking at, how everything is coming together. And I was just always intrigued with that. I was like, wow, I wonder, so I would kind of lean in and I would sit back and I'd be observant and I watch and I look how they set the stage, how they set the room, setting the atmosphere. And I think that also helped with stage presence, right? Because you kind of know, how everything is laid out, where the people are. When I did pageants and did competitions, how they always have the people right up front on this side, but you got to learn how to look at the left and the right, when you're walking and doing your thing. So you got to know when you need to stop and maybe do that special little twirl, as you say, in front of the right people.
Now, was anyone in your family into that? Because you said you started early.
I started early. I think I had an aunt that did some kind of like some fit modeling stuff. But really, how it started with me was my nana. My grandmother's had it. We had a neighbor across the street, and she was a seamstress. And she would make clothes different seasons. She would have like little shows where she have all the ladies come to her house. And one day she asked, because I was skinny, little skinny thing. And she asked my grandmother, could your granddaughter come over here and model some stuff for me? I'm having a tea. I'm going to have some women over and I want to show them some of the clothing. And that's kind of how it all got started back then. So I was just glad that my nana said, yeah. And she said, you want to do it? I was like, yeah. And it started then. But that helped me a lot in the development stages of being able to transition out of that career and going into business. Because again, being a business owner, starting, with boots on the ground, I started my company with $500 in a dream. Somebody said, oh, everybody says that. I said, well, let me tell you something. I had $500. I took it to a ballroom and I put that $500 on that ballroom. And then I had to get out here and make it happen. So my very first event was a fashion show. Because I was from the New York, New Jersey area. I moved to Orlando. I didn't see anything I was used to. I said, where the big lights, big city? Where's all the stuff? They're like, girl, it's Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck over here, boo. I said, oh, okay. So I had to create the atmosphere, create what I was used, what I was used to, because I didn't see it.
You know what? I like what you're saying right there too. And so let's stay right there for a moment.
Yes.
Because when you just said that I had to create it, oftentimes what I know that I experience with some of the people that we come in contact with, they believe that it's just supposed to magically appear. They just believe that the people will come because they believe they have a great idea. It's not about the idea. It's even talking about what you're saying, to create it. When we think about people being invited to tables, I think about that even with an entrepreneur, you have to build that and then get the right people around you. They're not just going to come. So what does that look like for you? Yeah.
Yes. You have to create the opportunities. You have to all that's in your creative space. And I thank God for giving me the gift to be able to create and promote and pull things together, because that's definitely a gift, a talent. Most people don't have it. So, and like you're saying, they're thinking it's just going to happen, and they're trying to figure out, well, how they do that? Well, where they learn, it's definitely a gift. It's definitely something that, that is spiritually within you. So I've always done that. So again, at a young age, being in the industry, I had to create, that certain look, or create, that presence, to be able to get that job. I had to create the designer said, this is what they want. You better be able to handle it. So taking all what I learned at a young age and everything, and starting my business, again, coming to a space and coming into a city that didn't have anything that I was used to. So I said, the first thing I wanted to do was create a high fashion runway show. That's what I'm gonna do. I said, they seen it, but they haven't experienced it. So let me create this experience.
And there is a difference.
There's a difference.
When you see something and you use the word that I love, no, it's an experience.
Oh,
the things that we do, it's an experience, because people, they don't forget an experience. You don't forget when something, like I say, look, reach your Shawanna. It touched you in your soul, right? It touched you in your soul, right?
Yes,
it moves something on the inside. And that is an actual experience. Looking at your resume and just even thinking, because of course we've had the opportunity to be in some of the same space with some of the same people. Yeah. We love. Look, shout out to Lori Smith. Hey, Lori.
Hey, Lori.
I know, being able to watch you and then to watch you navigate that space, it's about relationship. It's about one of the things that you're even known for. You're known for being a connector. You're known for being a connector of people and bringing people together, because you have been empowering women for over 30 years.
Oh, yes.
Over 30 years empowering women. And when I think about that in itself, because all too often we know that women, it's said that we can't work together. That's what it says, that we can't. But I believe we can. And here's the whole thing. The enemy would have us to believe, because the enemy knows that we are stronger together.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
We're stronger together. So when you were out there, especially back in those earlier years, how was it? Because this is the chat, and it's the good, the bad, and sometimes ugly of what it looks and feel like to be, the CEO, to sit in the seat, to be that founder. What are some of the things that you might have come up against as a challenge during your earlier years?
Oh, well, the challenge, let's just talk about, let's come up a little further, right? So started in 91 with my business, relocated here in 2007. So coming with the knowledge, but didn't have the money or the power. Okay, because a lot of people got knowledge, but they ain't got no money. You got people got money and power, don't have no knowledge. So I came to the city with the knowledge. I had the experience, but I had to figure out how I'm gonna get to the money and the power. When I say the money, the resources, the connections that we're talking about, the power, but my number one power source is him. As long as I plugged into him, I'm good. Okay. But power comes into your relationships. You know what I'm saying? You got to be strategic and intentional on how you move and do the things you need to do. So some of the challenges were, hey, I'm coming here to a new city. I couldn't take on Atlanta. All the different boroughs, all the different sections. You got your north, east, south, and west. I said, let me just focus on where I live, work, and play. Okay. Which was on the south side. All right. That's what I'm gonna conquer this. They're gonna hear about me, but let me work on this. So there was some challenges, because again, coming in, I think the first thing I tried to do, I was kind of in the city, and it was like, you run into a little barriers. Now I was here working with a client. I did work at 2003, I worked here for the NBA All-Star Weekend. I had a client out of LA and I did an event for them here. So I met some people, but a lot of people were like me. We came in to do a job and we left. You know how these events come, these big events come in, you come in and you gotta go. So when I relocated here, I thought that I could connect with some people, but it was only a few. But everybody is not always forthcoming and opening and letting you come in because they don't know. You're an outsider. You ain't from here. What you trying to do?
Oh, don't I know?
Okay, so going back to my roots, going back to what I knew, I'm gonna have to create the atmosphere. Okay, let me create this thing. So that's what I did. I said, okay, I'm going to put something together, and I'm gonna make sure I invite. Now, this is how you invest in yourself. That's your marketing. And you're building that brand. I had to invest in myself. That means that I'm going to do this, and I know that it may not yield me $1. Okay, it may not yield me 5 cents, but I'm going to create this and get the right people in the room to see and experience what I could do. So that's what I did. I created an event. I put it together. I put the right people in the room, and it raised some eyebrows. Oh, okay, so that's who she is. Okay, so that, yes. And again, you have to know all your touch points. One thing is very important. I'm very big on logistics, but you got to start at the top. If you can't get your people when they come in the door and they come in there and you don't know where nobody's sitting and you still trying to put the stuff together, no, it need to be together. If you say the door's open at 7, baby, y'all need to be there at 4 o'clock, making sure everything is set. All right. So that when people come, you can receive them and allow them to come into your event. All those things matter. A lot of people don't think it matters. It matters. You have to do your runner show. You got to make sure you're looking through everything and you're going and checking your list 2 or 3 times. You want everything to be set. So that was most important for me. And my first client that I was able to get in moving here was the city of Lovejoy. They said, okay, we probably can utilize her services. I think she can do this thing. And that was my first account. And I'm telling you, all I needed somebody to do is just give me open up the door and let me in. But I got in there and did the doggone thing. And this thing started growing from there. And wow, I've been here 18 years now. 18 years I've been in Georgia. So it's been, you have your peaks and you got your valley moments. You got the valley moments when the phone may not be ringing. You got the valley moments when you're trying to get that, and it just may not come through. But it's back to the relationships. You gotta build relationships. Some people go at people, I'm telling you, Shawanna, they go at them, I can do this. You gotta have a service mindset. You gotta have that service mentality because everything I do is service. My clients, I'm serving them and their guests. Yeah. Okay. With my nonprofit and with the girls that I do, it's a service. Yes, I'm an advocate for women in business because I know how hard it was for me. I am a dark-skinned Black woman. I'm Black. Okay, when I walk in the door, I can't change the color of my skin or who I am. I'm Black, baby. Now, and that's it. But I know that if I went in with a proposal or went in and said something and somebody a little lighter or fairer than me went in, it was a different but result.
But you know what? We gotta.
I'm just saying back then. I'm just talking about. So you asked me I'm telling you about the experience I had. It was a difference, but I didn't let that get me down. I overcame that barrier, baby. Okay, because again, I'm going to continue to press through. I've always been who I am. I remember even younger when I was in my younger years doing things and how it was different for me being a dark. But I don't let that get in the way because we're all in this together. Just like we said, we have to love one another. Look what we're dealing with right now. The biggest issue we're having right now, we are under attack. Women, period. I don't care, Black, white, Hispanic. We're under attack right now. They don't want nothing women. They don't want nothing this. So we have to figure out how we're going to come together strategically. Yeah. Okay, be intentional about that collaboration. Because if I can do this, and you're over here and you can do that and we can come together and grow something, we both going to win. We both going to be able to eat. Because right now, it's so many people getting shut down right now because they have something. My platform has been women, like I said, for a long time. I want to empower women. I always try to create a platform for women in business, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs. I work with, a lot of people that I work with, a lot of people within my circle. They are C-suite. They are, top executives, VPs, and so on and so forth. And it's not easy. Right now, it's a lot going on. So just like you said earlier, I said to the ladies at my event a couple of weeks ago, I said, instead of, we said we want to have a seat at the table, we're going to have to build this table. I got to get a leg, you get a leg. Okay, who gonna get the top? Who gonna paint this mug? Somebody get the chairs, because we're gonna have to build it.
And people have to understand too that every round, because we know that we both are women of faith. Every round, you know, when I think about it, it goes back to saying every round goes higher and higher, right? Every round goes higher and higher. And we have to be okay to know that, for example, us being in the same space, it's not that the light cannot shine on all of us, and be okay to no, the light can hit all of us, just like we all can have a dark day. The light can hit all of us, and to really know. And I want to make sure that that message is very clear, especially during this particular episode, with having someone like you, a visionary, a strategist in the building who knows what it looks like. You're a visionary connector. Then you touch all kinds of women in a lot of different spaces, which is something that a lot of people don't get the opportunity to do. So you're able to move through, you're able to get a little bit closer, lean in to see what are they talking about? What should people be looking at? Then now I can take this back, because I know, I've seen a couple of your girls, you mentoring young ladies and helping to bring them up so that they can stand in their confidence, right? Be empowered from a younger age. I'm all about the things that we do today to affect our future. So it's like, when you think about that, and then you brought in that element of the nonprofit, how was that when you said, I not only need to have a for-profit for my business, but I know I need to have a nonprofit. So talk to someone that actually does, because I too have a nonprofit for, for young people. And how did that happen for you when you decided to say, I know I definitely need to have this side of the business?
Well, I saw it when it came to the girls, because I have, the Leadership Academy for high school girls only, 14 to 18, 9th to 12th grade, right? Preparing them for life after, okay? Teaching them leadership. So what I saw was they were so in tune with social media and looking at they didn't understand what leadership looked like. They didn't understand what the leadership, the leadership to them was, and nothing to shun anybody, hip hop or anything like that, because I love me some hip hop, but they were looking at a lot of different things through social media and thinking that was what the leadership was. This is what I should aspire to be, or this is how I need to. Oh, no, hold on. You missing a whole chunk over here. So what I desired to do and what I did was I said, I'm going to create a leadership academy for high school girls where they can learn leadership skills, all right, life skills, because life, as they say, life going to be life, and they need to learn financial literacy, technology, right? They needed to know these things, right? And entrepreneurship, because a lot of them were already doing hair online, braiding hair, doing all these different things, eyelashing, I'm doing prep. So they got a little bit of that entrepreneur mindset, but let me give them the basic steps that they need. Then it was the leadership. Well, you need to know how to lead no matter what. Everybody's looking for followers. Why don't you be a leader? Why don't you set the trend? We sit back and wait. What's the next trend coming out? Is it going to be bell bottoms? You know how, what's the next trend? Yeah. You be the trendsetter. You start doing it, and they go, oh, that's how. And you be consistent with that. Believe me, somebody gonna say, well, could you do that for me? How did you put that together? So that's what I pour into them. And the leadership skills will help. If they go in the military, they need to be able to lead. They need to lead their company, their platoon. If you go into college, you want to be a leader in whatever it is that you got. You have to be focused on leading and not so much following. Now, as a leader, you have to come together. You have to build a team, all those things. So there's a lot that goes into the leadership piece, right? So that no matter what they go into, they'll always have that leadership mindset to where you don't always have to be in the back of the room or on the side of the room, or at least even as having that leadership mindset, you'll be able to know how to bring the group together and kind of, okay, this is how we should do it as a group. This is what, because the leader's only as strong as their team. So you're going to have that team mentality and that team leadership, and it's going to help you. As an entrepreneur, you have that entrepreneur spirit with that. You'll look at things and say, well, maybe I can do this in a way that it may be able to get me some, yield me a couple of dollars over here. My daughter-in-law was in the military. My son, my son's 15 years and my daughter-in-law in the military. What did she learn how to do? She learned how to do nails. She learned how to do, different things, because again, when they're out there, these, there's female, there was girls in the military, and they need their hair done, their nails, and they want to look good. They got the weekend. So she was someone that people would come to for different things. and she invested and took time and did her little online classes. And so she built something on the side. Although she was still serving our country, right? Doing the things she needed to do, she was also serving her community. So, showing them that can help them again. And if they have something that's tangible that can really turn into a business, they have it. Or if they somehow a light comes on, they have that skill set. Oh, I remember. Okay, I gotta make sure I do an outline, which is kind of like my business plan, right? Okay, I gotta look at this. Okay, wait a minute. Then it would come to finances, what I need and what I want. Oh my goodness, that want and need session. Oh my gosh, I need and you need. Okay, write down everything you need. Okay, no, write down everything you want. Now we're gonna break down what you need. This is somebody talking about, oh, I don't think I need cable because I ain't gonna have no money. I said, so think about all the stuff your parents paid for. They was like, oh, wait a minute, I gotta get rid of this. Yes, it's going. You work at Chick-fil-A, you make this much an hour.
You have to count up the cost.
I broke it down.
It's showing them how to count up the cost sooner than later, or it's reinforcing some of the things that we believe that they're being taught at home. And being a parent, we all know what that feel like to be like. Now I know we talked about that, but then if they come, and be a part of your group, and it's like it helps to cement some of the things that they've been getting at home. Or the light bulb finally go off.
Right, the light bulb comes on. Yeah. And the life skill part. That life skills part. How to carry yourself, how to be a young lady, how to take care of your body as a woman. It's different. It's gonna be different for everybody because everybody's development system is different. But there's certain things as a woman, it's gonna happen to you, just like it happened to me. So again, being able to give them those things and to be able to listen to them, because again, things are going on mentally, physically. They're dealing with stuff that's going on in school around them, the social media piece. And I'm telling you, you ain't got to clap back on everything. I make sure they have it. Just write it down. Write it down. When you have something going on, write it down. You ain't got to put it all out there, put your business out there. You mess around here and have a book and you don't even know. You got a bestseller right there. You didn't wrote it. What? They'd be like, oh, wow. Because people are going to be like, oh, I remember that. So I try to encourage them to do that. And to think twice, think about what you think about. So when you're thinking, think about what you're thinking about. All right. And take time because it's so important. So that was my motivation with the young ladies, but also it transpires into the women, helping them grow their business, their brands and themselves, giving them a platform to be able to get the exposure. Because a lot of times, or back when 30 years, we didn't have that. We couldn't get the platform. We didn't have the outlet. We didn't have this. We didn't have a lot of things. I had a TV show, 4 seasons, and people and it did really well right before COVID and everything. And I was like, I probably need to switch into the digital age, but then I got busy with some other stuff, so it's all good. But again, being able to do that because somebody did it for me when I started to grow and get into the business of modeling. There was a young lady who would come from Paris. She would come home every year. She would get with us in the community at Essex County College and go over some things with us and teach us all the things we needed to know to rock that runway, okay? To really be able to get up there and glide across that runway, to be able to show the clothes a way that you could. I had an outfit that went in 5 different ways you can wear this outfit. And I had to do it by walking down that runway, coming back and going back halfway and finish it. And I did it. I got that thing. I had to take a cape and make it a skirt and take this off and make it a that. I did it though. But though that came with training. So, someone took the time to do that. And even as I developed and became a business person and getting into business, there was a man. His name is Marvin Webster. If I gotta find Marvin. He's out of LA. And Marvin, when I decided to switch from doing fashion shows and people started asking me, can I coordinate events and do shows and do things for them? When I did that transition, he helped me to learn and understand marketing. Now I knew how to market myself, right? I knew I had to get out here and do flyers and all that, but he taught me marketing in a different way and allowed me to come under the wing of his team and learn how to sell out shows, sell out concert halls. I mean, when I started selling out shows and they got to add another day, I was like, oh, I got this. So it became more. So that's why it's KMP, events and marketing, because I learned the aspect of being able to market, how to do media buys, how do you, when the best time to do certain things. I would have people call me and say, well, when should we do this? Or how should we go about doing that? And it just developed into more. And I'm so thankful to God that he's given me the gift, given me the opportunity to be able to grow, and the knowledge and wisdom that I can take and I can share with others. So I'm currently working on me a little book now, girl. It's going to be a big book. I'm talking a little book. It'll be a big book.
Right.
So I'm working
this
on
little old
book.
big thing. This little old big thing. This little old big thing. Yeah. Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. If y'all don't realize who we already talking to, we are privileged to have none other than Dr. Kim McNair in the seat today for a C-Suite CEO chat today. I hope you are loving what you are listening to, what you are looking at, what you're actually sharing. I want you to make sure, look, that you are following her on all social media platforms. This young lady, look, she all over the place, especially LinkedIn. If you really want to get her attention, go over there to LinkedIn and look up Dr. Kim McNair on LinkedIn and follow her. Matter of fact, tell her where you saw her. And because she still got some more stuff, and while I got her in the seat, I'm going to have to squeeze a little bit more out of her.
Okay.
I'm going to have to squeeze a little bit more out of her. So y'all already know what y'all need to do is to stay tuned. Make sure you lock in. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this information. Make sure that you are hitting that notification bell, because what? We are better because of you. I love everything that we're doing. Dr. Kim, if you don't mind just waving at the people, because we're going to have to see y'all for a part 2. Thank you for joining us for this episode of C-Suite, a CEO chat. But don't forget, this is just part 1. This young lady is going to stick around for part 2. Okay. We'll see you guys again on the next episode of C-Suite, a CEO chat. This episode is brought to you by Kennedy Media and Entertainment, your premier video productions and digital visibility partner. Working with business owners just like you to be seen, heard, and paid by elevating your brand with high-impact video content, online visibility strategies, and expert social media management. Ready to stand out in your industry, on and off camera? Contact Kennedy Media today, and let's turn your message into a movement. Because visibility isn't optional, it's essential. Contact KennedyMediaLLC.com, KennedyMediaLLC.com, and let's boost your brand's visibility. It's time for you to be seen, heard, and known for your expertise. Contact us today.